Hello everyone, my name is Adam Huber. I'm the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Allen County, Kentucky. And welcome to Wildlife Wednesdays. On today's video, we're going to talk about how to create and enhance wildlife habitat on your property. Now there are multiple ways that we can do this, whether that's through creating food plots, bedding areas, or watering holes. There's so many things that we can do, and that's what we're going to create. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, animals and humans are alike in the sense that we all need food, water, and shelter. And when we're looking at a property, that's what we need to look at. We need to see what that property has to offer. Does it have food? Does it have water? And does it have shelter? We also need to take into consideration what the properties around us have to offer. And once you look at those things, it'll help you decide what you need to do on your property to enhance your wildlife habitat. Now, first thing we're going to talk about is food plots. If you don't have a good food source, you need to think about creating food plots. And you may say, well, I don't have any fields on my property to plant food plots. Well, that's easy. All you need to do is get a dozer, go in with a little bit of work, and just create a food plot in the woods. Once you do that, plant you a good food plot, keep those animals coming in. That's going to be very beneficial. Food plots are really key in creating a good habitat for wildlife. Now, bedding areas. You can create bedding areas in field settings and in the woods. Now, when we're talking about creating bedding areas in the fields, that consists of planting native grasses like switchgrass and blue stem, planting evergreen trees such as cedars and pines, and even low-lying shrubs. Those are what you need to do whenever we're talking about creating bedding areas in the field setting. Now, we can also create bedding areas in the woods. We can do hinge cuttings, which is basically going in, cutting a tree about 3 foot up, cutting it halfway through, letting it fall, and then that tree's not going to die. It's going to stay alive. The leaves will stay lush and green, and it's going to create a good ground cover and bedding area for those wildlife to stay in. You can also plant your evergreen trees in the woods, and also your low-lying shrubs. If you can throw a baseball or a tennis ball 30, 40, 50 yards and you can see it plain as day, then that is not good habitat for wildlife. They like dense cover, and that's what you need to try to provide for those animals. Now, creating water holes. Most properties don't have a pond or a creek or a lake running through them or nearby, and so those are things that we can definitely put in as well. We can have a dozer come in and either dig a pond, or we can utilize livestock watering troughs. Some people like to dig a hole and put those into the ground, or you can leave them on top of the ground and you can actually move them from place to place if you wanted to move those. Fill them up once a year, and then the rain should keep them filled up pretty well. You may have to go in a couple times, maybe once or twice a year, and add some more water to them. But usually the rain will do a pretty good job, depending on the size of your trough. And then creating sanctuaries, whether that be in your bedding areas. Typically that will be in your bedding areas. Creating a place where you do not go in, but maybe one time a year, and that's it. Especially like during hunting season, if your neighbors start shooting and shooting at animals, those animals need to have a place that they know that they're going to be safe all year long with no intrusion. And so if you have that sanctuary on your property and the other properties around you do not have that, then those animals are going to come there and they're going to stay there and they're going to feel protected and feel safe in those sanctuaries. These are all things that you can think about adding to your property: food plots, bedding areas of sanctuaries, and watering holes. If you don't have any of those, or if you do have some of those but don't have some of the others, then you need to think about adding those to your property. Strategically place these, and it will be very beneficial, and I promise you within a few years you're going to see more wildlife on your property. My name is Adam Huber. I'm the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Allen County, Kentucky. And I appreciate you guys watching this video, and you can contact me at 270-237-3146 at the Allen County Cooperative Extension Service if you have any questions. And again, thank you for watching Wildlife Wednesdays.